Namaskar, madam.
Namaskar.
Charan Spars. Today, I am honored that I am getting opportunity to be with Padma Shri Madam Usha Sharma Madam, and everybody in India knows her, and she is so renowned in North India and all over India that nobody in Foxy and in our associations uh, is possible that do not know Dr. Usha Sharma Madam. Uh, I am feeling so much proud that I am giving her introduction uh, today. The year in which I born in 1965, in that year, Madam received almost all awards of completing MBBS. She got highest distinction marks in all the subjects, including anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, pathology, jurisprudence, and obstetric and gynecology. Madam received highest award, that is Padma Shri Award, in 1986 by President of India, 1985 by our Honorable President of India. She received almost all highest possible awards. The highest possible award to a medical teacher, that is BC Roy Award, she received in 1995. She has in her bag the world record of doing 611 laparoscopic ligation operation in 24 hours. So, madam, it is now near to impossible for anybody to break these kind of records. If I will enumerate the names of the awards which madam has received, I think the whole evening will be less. But I will enumerate a few. Definitely, she was awarded a laparoscope by late Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi, and a gold medal award by UP government for outstanding family planning work in 1982. Madam received Indira Gandhi Priyadarshini Award in 1992, Mahila Ratna Award in 1992, Mahila Merit Ratna Award in 1993, Hariom Ashram Alembic Research Award in 1993, BC Roy Award in 1996, member of Executive Committee of Chhatrapati Sahuji Maharaj University, Lucknow in 2002. Madam remained President of Society of Obstetric and Gynecology of Meerut for 30 years, since 1978 to 2008. And since 1990, lifetime Chief Patron of Meerut Obstetric and Gynecological Society. I think I cannot enumerate the names of awards. They are more than 50, 60 highest awards of India. So I am really feeling grateful that the year in which I born, Madam was awarded as the best girl, medical girl of India award, and best medical student, best lady medical student, and best medical girl of India in 1965 by President of India. So I am honored, madam, and in the year 1985, when she was awarded Padma Shri, I entered in my MBBS. So I feel myself honored to have you with me, Dr. Usha madam. Welcome, madam.
Thank you very much, Dr. Geetendra, for your very nice words for me. Dr. Geetendra, I can tell you that I really admire your dynamism, your dedication, your hard work, and your sincere efforts to promote and to support as regards the curriculums of every Foxian. I have seen you giving lectures and giving talk for the last, I think, within a fortnight, you have been with us at least 3 or 4 times. Yeah. Geetendra, what I want to, actually I feel that in our times, I can say 3 to 4 decades back, the times were very different. The bonding between the doctor and the patient was very strong. And whatever doctor used to say was the last word for the patient without any questions. What I feel that with the time, there was Google Mama came in picture. And due to that, what happens that almost everyone reads about and have the knowledge of everything, that actually has created a problem. But certainly we, for the better services and for good services, we need acts, we need rules and regulations. And we should always understand that what are the medico-legal implications of any diagnostic procedure or any treatment module. Dr. Gitendra, I can say that you are really an asset for all of us Foxians, that whenever there is any problem, we can just talk to you and solve our medico-legal problem. So considering all these acts which came later on, Consumer Protection Act, PCPNDT Act, and POXO Act, and so many acts and rules and regulations, what I feel that we should have good knowledge of medico-legal complications as well as medico-legal aspects of our treatment. So I will request you to please tell us the principles of medical ethics, because it is very important. We must understand it well. Otherwise, in day-to-day practice, we can never be a successful practitioner. As well as, I will also request you to please give your views regarding these days. You must have heard that many patients come that, doctor, we want cesarean section on this date. That means most of them want cesarean section on demand. So I would like to know your views also about the cesarean section on demand and the medical, legal and medical ethics, so that whenever we go for any diagnosis or treatment, we take care of these things so that we do not face any complications after that. So on to you, please.
Right, madam. Actually, according to Supreme Court, in 1994, medical practitioners, means all doctors, were included under Consumer Protection Act. And after that, according to definition, doctors are considered service provider, and patients are considered as consumer. So according to that, the new talk of town was that he who pays for the piper will call the tune. Means he who pay will decide that what kind of treatment they want to avail. So that become the principle under Consumer Protection Act. Now, in IMA versus VP Shanta, the Supreme Court has defined that there are 7 kinds of professions, and medical profession is one out of them. So profession means something which depends on a skill of an individual. So operation is a skill. So everybody cannot do good operation, but doctors can do good operation. So that is the individual skill. So whenever something depends on individual skill, that is a profession. Now, in professions are basically to be handled or to be controlled by their ethics. So all professionals are controlled by ethics. And in medical science, we have our own ethics. In law, there is professional ethics for lawyers. So in the same way, there is professional ethics for medical people. So in 2002 regulation, there was a Indian Medical Council Code of Conduct, Etiquette and Ethics, Regulation 2002, in which ethical guidelines are framed to be followed by all registered medical practitioners who are registered as an allopathic doctor in medical register. Now, looking to the broad aspect of ethics, the principle of ethics, there are 4 principles of ethics broadly. The first principle is the principle of autonomy. Autonomy means every individual has a right to decide that what should be done to his body or her body. So that is the principle of autonomy. So that means patient has a right to decide that under what operation she wants to undergo or she does not want to undergo. Second thing is the principle of non-malfeasance. Means you cannot harm the patient. So sometimes patient out of ignorance may demand something, but if something is harmful to the patient, then you should not do it, or you can avoid it. Third is principle of beneficence. That means that you can do anything for the benefit of the patient. So suppose in emergency there is PPH, severe PPH on table, and if you want to remove hysterectomy, uterus of the patient, that is obstetric hysterectomy, then it is in the benefit of the patient, in good faith, and that's why you can definitely perform it. And last but not least is the principle of justice. That means something you do is to be justified, means it is justifiable. Unjustified thing you cannot do. So something which is indicated you can do, something which is not indicated by standard rule you cannot do. Now looking to the last part, whether CS on demand should be done or not. So the answer is simple. If something is unindicated, then even on demand you should not do. But if suppose at 32 weeks of pregnancy, if some patient comes to you that sir, I had taken 10 years treatment for infertility और बहुत मुश्किल से मेरे को तो pregnancy रही है, and now I am apprehensive, मतलब they become apprehensive कि 32 weeks पे ही बच्चा निकाल दो sir, you take out my baby, I want my baby in my hand. But at 32 weeks, if you feel that the lungs of baby is not matured, fetus is not matured, then you should not do it. You should avoid it. But if somebody asks CS at 37 or 38 or 39 weeks, then it is your duty to inform patient the pros and cons. Okay, so you have to counsel the patient, and that counsel is to be documented. That what are the benefits of cesarean and what are the side effects of cesarean. What are the benefit of normal delivery and why we insist on normal delivery or trial on labor. So everything is to be explained and to be documented. And even after that counseling, if patient desires that I want to undergo cesarean section, then you can definitely do with the indication that CS on demand. So we should write the indication that we are doing CS on demand as it is not unindicated. So that is my view, madam.
Thank you very much. Dr. Geetendra, you have really very nicely given the description of medical ethics and how we should go about it. And you know, in today's world, it's very important that we should explain each and everything to our patient. They should be well informed and everything should be well documented, as you said, because sometimes what happens, there may be any complication that certainly everybody will ask you actually what happened. Until you have full documentation, it's not possible for you. As you said, that justification is also very, very important. So, and as regards the cesarean section on demand, no doubt that if it is premature, there is no question that you should listen to the patient or anyone else. But certainly if it is fully mature and there is good reason that patient is asking you for cesarean section on demand, then only you should do it. In my opinion, we should, as far as possible, should try to avoid cesarean section on demand. Dr. Geetendra, I really appreciate your knowledge, and I think you are the most deserving candidate for vice presidentship for West Zone. I wish you all the luck, and I'm sure that at every step of your life you will have success. May God bless you with a very, very bright future. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be part of this program.
Madam, I feel honored to have your blessings, madam. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Bye.